What?
It's already gotten pretty warm outside. Oh, you should get a shot on Razzie.
Are you scared of the camera? Come here. Come here. It's okay. Why are you biting my arm? You're crazy.
Yeah.
Last summer for Evelyn's birthday, we got a Great Dane. She'd been wanting a puppy for years, and for some reason we decided for our first dog to get a Great Dane. She's been amazing though, by the way.
What's on the Cheetos today? Are you working today?
I'm working today. I'm working right now. I gotta do taxes for the business.
For your car.
No, for the monthly, for the business. Sam is 4 now. I remember when we moved to Utah, summer of 18, he wasn't even 1 yet. It's crazy, some of the earliest videos that we had, he was just a baby. You couldn't get it?
What?
Couldn't get the door?
I just can't get the door.
Oh, it's okay, I'm sorry. What were you doing out there?
Pee.
So, I've always really been interested in the Scout campers. I think the platform itself is super interesting. So why don't we do a little flashback here to about 2 months ago when I had the opportunity to do a walk around of the Mortells Scout camper. What's up guys? Jason Kirchie here at Overland Expo West. But I'm here with a Scout camper behind me with Mike and Danny. Is it Mortell?
Mortell.
Okay, with the Mortells. And I've always been intrigued by the Scout camper for a variety of reasons. I think it's a sort of a minimalistic, simplistic, not shell camper, that's probably the wrong term, but slide-in camper. And I've always just been really intrigued by it. And I've never seen one in person. And I'm really excited to see one in person. And hopefully, I know this isn't gonna be like seeing one in person for you guys, but hopefully it's more like seeing one in person than some of the other content out there. So, all right, so I've got Danny and Mike Mortell.
How's it going?
Where are the Mortells? No, you can find them on all the social medias. I'm sure if you search, I think it's the Mortells, at the Mortells with Instagram. I'm sure if you search that on YouTube, it might be that or whatever, but I'm sure you'll come across them.
Exactly.
And we've got Mike here. We're both mic'd up. Mike is mic'd. Jason's mic'd. Danny's not. So what are we running here? We've got.
So we have a 2020 Ram 2500 with the AEV Prospector uplift kit on it.
Nice.
And it's got the Cummins engine, the 6'4" bed. And then we have a 2021, I think it's technically, Scout Olympic, which is their 6'5" length bed. They also have a Yoho, which is their smaller one. And then they have a Kenai, which is the 8-foot bed model.
Okay, so this is the middle of the road Scout camper, right?
Exactly. This is the first one they released. We went with it because they had really long, small lead times initially.
Yeah.
We were wanting a 4-wheel camper and the lead times were crazy. Scout had just announced this. We jumped on it as quickly as we could. And now that we have it, we are very glad we ended up with this.
So what attracted you to the Scout? So that's really interesting because I didn't know that. You were shopping 4-wheel camper first, and that seems to be kind of the go-to when people first start thinking about it.
Yeah.
What attracted you to this and made it, and what do you like more about it now?
Yeah,
in
so
hindsight?
the reason we like 4-wheel campers is because we know a lot of people with them and they've been around for so long. So we knew that they were a quality product. The one thing that made us nervous was we had never seen one in person for the Scout when we put our deposit down, and we didn't see one in person until we picked it up. We were number 40 or 50 off the lot, so there were not many out in the world at that point. The one reason we're really glad we got this instead of the 4-wheel camper is we do love the hard side walls. It is amazing in winter camping. We do a lot of camping in Colorado in the wintertime. It's got a Dickinson fireplace in there with a real flame. It keeps the camper nice and cozy. Condensation's pretty minimal. There is a little bit, but it's not terrible. Okay. And it just, for winter camping, I think this is the best setup out there right now. I mean, our goal is to go full time in one of these.
Nice.
So we really wanted something that handles all the seasons. Summers can be a little tough. It does get kind of toasty in there during the day, but it cools off quick at night with the big windows. So
I think one of the things that's unique about the Scout camper, I was reading about this, is their mounting system.
Yep.
Is that super specific to Scout, or is that?
I think there's a couple campers out there now that do a similar mounting system, but Scout was the first that I'm aware of.
Okay.
They use ratchet straps from the marine industry, and they just go right down to the bed hooks, the stock bed hooks.
Nice.
And that's all it is. So you just got to crank down the ratchet straps and it stays in there pretty good. The first couple weeks of use, like these do stretch, so you got to be checking them every time.
Just checking them.
But once they've stretched out, we haven't had our camper shift at all, and they stay pretty nice and tight unless we are hitting some big bumps off road.
Is this where you hook up to?
Exactly. A happy jack leg goes in here,
Okay.
and you can just crank it down. There's 4 of them, lift
Okay.
it straight up, and drive right out from underneath of it.
I mean, that's the thing that's really attractive, because you can remove this,
Yep.
take the camper off, and you've got a truck
Exactly.
that you can use like a truck.
And if my dad wants to borrow this, he can throw it in his truck and doesn't need any extra tie-down equipment, nothing fancy. Just goes in any truck. So
Now, I'm getting ahead of myself, and I tend to do that, but you bring up the question, you know, your dad wants to, it was your dad, right?
Yeah.
He wants to come and get the camper. What does he do for power?
power is just goal zero.
Right. So it's all, it's self-contained.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
So that was one of my favorite things what I was leading into. That was one of my favorite things when I was shopping around, and actually whenever I do a camper build, I'm gonna do the same thing, because why overcomplicate it?
Yeah, and it's got a 175 watt solar panel, flexible solar panel on the nose of the Scout, and that thing does great. Like, we are normally at 100% every day if we're in the sun. It handles it really well. The only issue is if I'm working and wanting my laptop and a second monitor going in there, it does drain it a little bit.
Start using the
But
power.
overall, like, it handles it really well.
Well, is this a roof rack? What? Oh, I know what this is, right?
Yeah, so
We'll get
that's
to
the
that.
main roof rack that's holding the tent on. I think it's just extra support for the rooftop tent, which is an option for
Got
the
it.
Scouts. For the Olympic and the Kenai, you can get a rooftop tent. The Yoho doesn't have that as an option. And right here, you can see like a little bit of a hook. A extendable ladder can hook on that. So you can access the rooftop tent from outside, or on the inside, there is a hatch that you can crawl up through. So there's 2 different ways to get into that rooftop tent.
Here's another thing that I've been very intrigued by, is the fact that you can keep the tailgate on here.
Yes.
So you close. Go ahead.
Ram is the only truck that it actually doesn't close all the way, because it's a 6'4" bed.
Okay.
Ford, Chevy, GMC, all of them have 6'5" beds.
Okay.
So it can actually close. So my dad and I actually made just a quick little bracket.
Oh, nice.
So it doesn't close all the way, but you know, it does what it needs to do.
Close enough.
Yeah. So, but yeah, having this tailgate on is really great, because it's a front porch for us. Yeah, and that's the other benefit with this over like any of the pop top campers, is this is a full RV door. So you're not trying to crawl through,
Yeah.
you know, one of those half-size doors.
What is the material, the camper material made of? Because I see you've got Rotopacks mounted there.
It's a composite material
Okay.
that's sandwiched between, I believe it's fiberglass panels.
Okay.
It's all structural. So you can drill and mount anything anywhere, as long as you have like a backing plate to kind of spread out that weight.
Okay.
So yeah, Rotopacks, that's an option from the factory. So we got those from Scout. But I've seen people put additional Rotopacks over here, put
Okay.
Max Track mounts. Somebody mounted their mountain bike on the outside. So
Okay.
a lot of options
And
there.
then, are you running a rigged
Yep,
Ultra?
we
Is
just
that-
got a rigged Mega Fit. It's been awesome.
Yeah.
Super secure. Able to still put a 2-person or 2 bike rack on the outside of this and
Yep.
still swing it out of the way. So this has been really great. We've really liked having this. While we're right here, let's
Okay,
just
yeah,
quickly show these storage. So this is the main outside storage. What's really nice is it's large enough to fit both of our
Wow.
stand-up paddle boards, inflatable stand-up paddle boards. Our
Wow.
chairs fit over here. So a lot of storage room out here, which is really nice.
Does it go past? Yeah, of course
Yeah,
it does.
It
because
goes
you've got
down
the
to
pedal.
here, basically.
Wow.
And then right here, this is just our propane. So we
Yeah.
got 2 propane bottles, which is really nice. So when you run out of one, you can shift it over.
Okay.
You just know you got to fill up the other one the next couple days.
Is that a Scout thing, the propane tanks?
Yep,
Is
yep,
that what it
all
comes
from
with?
Scout.
Can you fit a standard size tank in there?
Not a standard.
Too deep?
We did just learn that, I think these are 5-pound technically.
Okay.
And you can fit a 10-pound over on this side because of
it's taller.
the height. Yeah.
Okay.
So you can upgrade that a little bit larger.
Got it.
But really, between the 2 of these, we can go, I think off of one, we've gone a week and a couple days
Okay.
with using the Newport fireplace all night and cooking.
Yeah.
So
So
it
it's fireplace and
sips,
stove.
Yep, it sips the propane.
Yeah.
So they do a really good job with that.
Yeah. Well, and you probably don't have to run the heater too much because it's fairly well insulated,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
So it's pretty efficient, and of course it's not a huge space to heat. So
Yeah, we normally run it for a couple hours when it's really cold, a couple hours before going to bed, turn it off, and then I'll get up at 4 in the morning, turn it back on.
Turn it back on, yeah.
And then by the time we're actually getting out of bed, it's nice and cozy
warm.
again.
Yeah, I got that.
So,
wow, look
right.
at this. All right, go ahead, sir.
Yep, so the bed is, I believe it's the length of a queen and 7 inches narrower. I think it's technically like a full XL is what it's called.
Okay.
Very comfortable for both of us up there, and our cat even's up there, sleeps up there with us. And then, as you can see, right above the bed is the hatch to get up to the rooftop tent. So
Okay.
you just slide a board out of the way, you can crawl right up there, and then you put the board back, and it's got the cushion on top of the board, and it's one big bed up there.
Got it.
That's what these storage hooks are right here as well. This is all holding down that rooftop tent. And what's really nice is you can just mount anything to it. So I actually mounted this fan just between a piece of plywood between those. And then on the other side is actually a Scout bag. So for clothing, it mounts over there. So that's an add-on if you want to have some additional storage up there, which is pretty nice. You can fit a lot of clothes in there. It's easy to just take off, carry inside when you get home. And then the dinette, for this one's a front dinette. The smaller Yoho and the larger Kenai is more of an L-shaped dinette.
Okay.
So this one does have a little bit larger table, which is nice for us while we're working on the road. And it converts down to a bed as well. So that table just folds down, and the back of the seats go on top of it, and it makes a small bed that easily 2 kids could sleep on, or one shorter adult would be able to sleep there.
Well, and the table is, if I'm not mistaken, it's probably latched down right there.
Exactly. So you
right?
can actually the Scout designed everything to be modular, so you can take everything outside if you want to. So that table, you just unscrew 2 screws there, and then you can just actually carry that outside. Technically, you could unstrap the Dometic, take it outside. The cooktop can go outside, and there's a propane hookup on the outside, so you can cook on your tailgate or close to your tailgate. And the water in here is just off this Lifesaver jerry can.
Okay.
So filtered, so you can get it from streams anywhere you want.
Yep, I got one of those at home.
Yep.
I love it.
It's been great.
Use it all the
super
time.
simple, which is what we really like. So there's no winterization. The only thing you got to do is take this out.
Yeah, take it out.
And that's it.
That's great.
So
It's not plumbed anywhere, right? You just get it out. There's a spigot right here.
there's a spigot
there.
right here.
Got
It does come with a nozzle. So yeah, the spray nozzle that comes with it is the Lifesaver spray nozzle, and it has a mount right here.
Okay.
That's the one thing that you do have to be careful of in the wintertime. We left it on, and there was still water in the nozzle, and it broke.
Right.
We've never replaced it because we just normally fill up stuff right here, and
Right.
it works out great.
Yeah.
So
Have you ever had a problem with your Lifesaver leaking?
yeah, I mean, you can see a little drop right there. It's
Do you just deal with it? It gets
yeah,
wet.
it's not bad, but it does drip a little bit.
Yeah.
And then right here's the sink. We just use it for storage mostly, but yep, a nice little sink, and there's no gray tank. It goes right to the outside where you can hook up a hose and get like an external gray tank or something like that.
So you've got the stove. You mentioned you can remove the stove and take it
Yeah,
out.
just held down by these one strap here, one in the back. It's just a Dometic insert stove that Scout had them make this box.
Yeah.
So that way it is removable.
Okay,
Because
got it.
normally this gets mounted in the actual countertop.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. And then the windows are great. It's got the bug screen on the lower side, sunscreen on top. And the nice thing
they're
is
acrylic too, right?
yeah, acrylic, and they get scratches, but they're really easy to buff out.
I saw that in one of your Didn't you just talk about that?
Yeah. So we had scratches down both sides going down some narrow trails, and we used this 321 product. I forget the name of it.
Nice.
And they looked brand new.
So you've got basically a composite shell built out, wood, looks like probably birch, routed.
Yeah, it's just plywood, and it's just here, and there. That's the only plywood in here. The rest of it's all the composite. Nice big Dometic dual zone, so you can have freezer on one side, fridge on the other. One thing we like to do on shorter trips is fridge on one side, the other side actually turned off for dry goods. So you can just store bread in there and it's not getting crushed. So.
Well, yeah, no, that's huge, and it probably, honestly, stay fresh a little bit longer.
Exactly.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you've got lots of counter space back here, right?
Yes, a lot of storage. So we just put 3M tape to hold these storage things down on them.
That's cool.
And then, this is the Newport fireplace.
Those things are so cool.
It's awesome. It heats this thing up quickly and it's
They're
super
originally for
efficient.
sailboats,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
And they're exhausted and intake. Exhaust and intake is all through the hose, duct, plenum, whatever that's called.
Yep.
And then it's got kind of like a chimney, right? A two-tiered
Exactly.
chimney. So
Yep. So it's all dry heat. You're not getting any of the gases
Right.
exhausted into here. Everything's going out the top, and then it's just pushing air across it.
it's such a cool unit.
Yeah. And what's really nice is it has a real flame in there.
Right.
So on a snowy winter day, it
It's
is
nice.
cozy in here. The only downside to it is it doesn't have a thermostat. So
Yeah.
it's either off, low, or high.
Yeah, on or off, right?
Yeah.
Yep.
So
And then back behind here, underneath here is where the stand-up paddleboard storage was, right?
exactly,
So that's
and
what
the
you
propane. Yep.
okay. That's what you got there.
Yep.
Okay. And then you've got just artwork and decoration
Yeah.
and all that
Yeah.
fun
Just
stuff.
trying to make it feel a little bit more homey.
Yeah, it's home, right?
Yep.
Man, this is great.
Yeah. And then the only big modifications we've done are these drawers underneath.
Okay.
So I'll pull out this one because this one just has a bunch of junk in it. But this one's our kitty litter. So it just stores Walker's kitty litter. And then this one's just a bunch of junk that we put in here. So it just makes it a little bit more usable. Before it was, similar to this, where it was a routed cubby opening. So you could shove like the foldable chairs under there or something else. So this is our Goal Zero. Comes with the camper. And then this is just more storage. This is where our cat Walker likes to hang out.
Okay.
And then just, more storage. We put this little shelf in here.
Got it.
Normally it's just one big opening. And the toilet option, if you want to get it, is one of those Dometic small, I want to say it's like cartridge toilet, I believe,
Yeah.
that actually fits in this cubby.
Okay.
So you can get a toilet if you want for it.
And Walker is hanging out
Yep.
in there. How is the Goal Zero like wired and set up? Like how does it work? I see everything plugged in, but where's it all go?
Yep, so it's all comes from the factory, ready to go, nice and neat. So it does have a solar, this is the cable going to the solar panel up on the roof. It cuts back through here, and actually I believe all the wiring goes back here and then underneath the table, because I had to be a little bit careful putting these drawers in that all the wires were up high enough.
Okay.
And then they all come out the side of the camper over here.
Okay.
There is a port on the back of this panel,
Okay.
or in this cubby, so you can run the regular like house charger to the Goal Zero
Okay.
through that port, and that's how your shore power is.
Okay.
So you can hook up if you're at a campsite or at home in order to charge this without having to take it all the way out.
So how are the lights in here powered by the Goal Zero?
Yep, so they're all off of this cable here.
Okay.
This cable here is running the lights, the LP sensor, and I believe that is it. This 12 volt is running the Dometic, and then these are our fan hookups. And then I ran an extension cord
Right.
from our inverter up there, just so we have power right by our bed
Yep.
if we need that. But most of the time we just use these USB. There's 3 of these lights. They're dimmable, very efficient,
Yeah.
and they're
LED, yeah.
yep.
For sure.
General overall feelings of this camper has been awesome. We've had it for 11 months now. Absolutely love it. It's, the nice thing is it's simple. So it doesn't take much it's a great first camper. You don't need to know how to winterize, fill water tanks, all that stuff. It's very simple. And the other nice thing is it's easy to modify. Since it is simple, like if you wanted to add, an additional water tank somewhere, it wouldn't be that hard to do.
This has been really fun. It's
Yeah.
been really great. I was interested in looking at these, and I can't do long wait times. I just don't do it. And I know that's part of the process sometimes with some of them, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
This is a great camper.
Yep.
I'm super excited about it. I think it looks awesome. I think it looks like a fun option, and I'm glad it's worked out for you guys. I'm really, really anxious to see what happens in the future.
Yeah. The last thing I will throw in here is this is lightweight. It's fully
What is it
loaded,
like? Yeah.
1,600 pounds.
Wow.
That's with, water. It's not a ton of water, but that's with water and some weight for the fridge and everything.
Right.
So,
Well, I mean, the thing with the water is you can do this. You can grab a few gallon jugs at the grocery store on the way out. If you're by a stream. The cool thing about the Lifesaver, this has got those like Life Straw kind of filter thingamajiggers
Yep.
where it filters out 99.9% yada yada yada.
yeah.
You can literally fill it up at a pretty, you probably don't want to get nasty, gross water, although you probably could.
You can, yeah.
But if you're at a nice creek, you can get it refilled.
Exactly.
So, sweet.
Yeah.
Well, thanks so much for your time, Mike.
Yeah, I'm glad you came by.
Okay, so that was my take on the Scout Camper. That was everything I've been curious about and kind of wanted to know. And thanks, Mike and Danny, for spending time with me out there.
Look, I've got grass. Look at this thick tuft right here.
See you in the next video. What are you doing?
Digging a hole.
Digging a hole? Are you in your pajamas digging a hole?